Hey, it's me, Sharii Marie, and welcome to my podcast, Sharii. Hey, it's me, Sharii Marie, and welcome back to my podcast, Motivate Me, Sharii. So for those of you who don't know, I'm just your normal single mom. I work a full-time job. I have a son, and probably about 5 years ago, I realized I had the gift of gab. I like to talk and people like to listen. So hopefully I'll inspire you or someone you know. Okay, so today we got a special guest. We got my sister. We got Dorothea Trainer. And for those of you all who don't know, or maybe you weren't at Buttermilk or you haven't been on Facebook or alive or anything like that, but she has her own business. She has created her own catering business, and she's going to tell us a little bit about that. So first, welcome, Dorothea. Welcome.
Thanks. Thanks for having me.
How you doing today?
I'm good.
Have you had a busy day?
Yeah, I picked up a shift on my day off. We had gymnastics, allergy shots, but we got there and they were closed. So
oh goodness.
Yeah. So
it's been a crazy one, ain't
it has.
Well, okay, so tell us a little bit about yourself. Tell us, yourself, your age, kids, your job. Tell us a little bit about Dorothea.
I'm 38. I'll be 39 in November, Scorpio season. And I have one child. She's about to be 9, going on 50. But I have one child.
Turn your seat around.
I currently am a server at BJ's during the day, BJ's Steakhouse here in Bardstown, and I also do my catering business. We just celebrated a year being in business in July. It was just something I don't know. I went back to my full-time job, and it just wasn't the same, and it just wasn't for me. So I just decided, I started getting a lot of people reaching out to me, asking me to make stuff, and it just kind of started growing, and I figured, what the heck, between serving, and I'm a really great server. I enjoy serving, so I'm a really great server. So between that and trying to do this catering thing, I figured I could just go out on a whim and try it out. I mean, if all else fails, I could go back and get another job. You know what I'm saying? So that's kind of where it all started, and so far, like I said, we just celebrated a year. I'm still have a home, and I'm still paying my bills. So
you're still afloat.
We're still afloat. So we're not gonna say it was a total bad decision. I'm just riding it and taking the good with the bad, learning as I go, and just anxious to see where it goes.
So how did you come up with the name Soul Food, Dorothea's Soul Food on the Go?
Well, I mean, I just feel like, to me, a lot of people ask what soul food is. And when you think about it, you think about that one song talking about all the soul food. That's what you think of. But it doesn't necessarily have to be that, in my mind, soul food means it was cooked with love. That the person really put a lot of time and effort into it, and they just want to see everybody enjoying that meal. And so to me, that's kind of what soul food is. It's not necessarily a particular kind of food, but just the fact that someone took the time and put the effort. It didn't just come out of the freezer and throw it in the oven on 400. Like, it was something that was made with love. So to my mind, that's what soul food means. So to me, when I cook a meal, anybody that knows me or that I've ever cooked for, when I cook, I don't eat as soon as I cook. Like, it takes me a minute before I can eat. I like to see everybody else enjoying and liking it or not liking it, whatever. But it's kind of my thing, I guess.
Okay. Well, don't be mad at me, but I turned my live on Motivate Me, Sharii.
Okay.
So say hello,
hey.
Say hello. We'll let people watch. We'll let them watch, but we are airing this full interview Friday, so make sure you tune in. It will be on Dorothea's Soul Food on the Go page. It'll be on Motivate Me, Sharii, and Sharii the Trainer. So make sure you tune in.
Hey.
So, how did you learn to cook? Because your girl, it skipped over me. Like, it skipped right. I mean, don't get me wrong. I can do a little bit of something, but how did you learn how to cook so well?
Well, I mean, and this may sound crazy, but I mean, I'm a thick girl. I like food. Okay, so I feel like people that like food, they just not, it just kind of comes to you. I mean, but not necessarily. But growing up is in our home. She was a single mother and she worked, and a lot of times she got up early, and she always made sure we had something to eat, and she would prepare meals. But as we got older, that was just part of it. You take turns. It was your turn to cook, and I just remember even as a kid when we used to play house and college, like, everybody had jobs, and my job would always be Dorothea's Diner.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? And we would dress up in the dresses and the heels, and we would all come in there, and I would make up stuff. Like, we would take tortillas, put some marinara sauce, some cheese and pepperonis, throw it bad boy in the microwave because you can't use the stove when mama ain't home. So, and warm it up. And what you talking about? You had a whole little pizza at Dorothea's Diner. Like, we just used to make stuff up. But I don't know. Working with my mom, she always was I remember as a kid, that's one of my fondest memories. She used to cook for both sides of our family, our father's side and our mother's side. And growing up, we didn't celebrate holidays. So that was kind of the time that we got to see all our family, was when she cooked those meals. And I mean, she put a lot of time and effort and prep into it. And I was right beside her helping her. Mm-hmm. I mean, she used to cook 50 pounds of chitlins and collard greens, homemade stuff, cornbread stuff, and the whole nine. So that's where I kind of learned to cook, just being right in there with her, doing all of that.
Where was I? Where was I, though?
Asleep somewhere with your thumb in your mouth.
Just saying. It skipped right over me. Like I said, I've learned Dorothea. Thanks to Dorothea. There's plenty of days I call her and I'm like, how do you make a roast? How you fry chicken? There's plenty of times I will call her and she'll give me little tips and pointers. But I didn't get the gift that she got. I really didn't. So would you say your mother is your inspiration when it comes to cooking?
She is. And then on my father's side, my grandma Gladys, I remember us going to Louisville on the weekends, and we walk in her house and she would have so much food, and she just done threw down. Like, she was a good cook too. And then I think back to, just different people growing up that had really, I don't know, they cooked things, introduced me to new things. I remember as a kid, we ate black eyed peas at Miss Ida's. Mm-hmm. And now we look at them like, ugh, yes. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know, just all those type of things, really. I just think back. But yes, Mama, I would say, she's the one who taught me everything I know. Most of the recipes I have, I stole from her.
So I was going to ask you how long you've been cooking, but you pretty much told us since early on.
Yeah.
Early on. What age would you say?
I probably started when I was probably about 8. Mm-hmm. Maybe even younger than that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, good. Yeah. Good. It's been in the making for a long, long time.
Yeah.
So what did you do? You said you went back to your full-time job. What did you do prior to Soul Food on the Go?
Well, I've worked a few places, and every place that I worked, I cooked for them. That's kind of how the whole catering to the big groups came apart. I worked at Fuji Seal for a little bit. I worked at Jonan for a little bit. I worked at Communicare right out of high school. And every time we had a function or some type of bunko or, staff meeting, everybody was a potluck. I brought all kinds of stuff. It's just, I've always just enjoyed cooking. And, when you work in those type of places, you can cook for that many people. Right. You know what I'm saying? And that's where I kind of got the experience for cooking for large crowds, because, it's different cooking for your family and then cooking for a large crowd.
So what encouraged you to start your own business? A lot of people have that idea. Yeah. But they don't have the guts and they don't have the willpower, and they might not have the people supporting them. Yeah. So what made you say, I was going to do it?
Well, our older sister, Toya, she's always been an inspiration to me. She takes things head on. No matter what comes her way, she just gets in there, figures out what has to be done, and gets it done. And Mama, when we was teenagers, she had worked at the same place our whole entire life. Mm-hmm. And that's all she knew, really. And then when they shut down, they didn't have a choice. It wasn't like she quit or got fired. Like, they shut down, and she didn't know what she was going to do. And we were still home. So she decided to open up her own cleaning business. And when she did that, the fact that she thought this, I can make it, I can get out here and do it. And I mean, we helped her and it was fun. We had a good time. And, just being able, sometimes you just got to take that chance. Like I said, it's a chance. And it was a chance that this year would have been a flop. And I could have been homeless, looking silly. But at the end of the day, that ain't the way it's worked out. Right. And I tell you, too, what's really helped me is BJ's. I left my job because of the money that I make at BJ's as a server. Like, I'm a good server type of person, so I make good money. But also siding with, wanting to do my own business. When you serve, your availability is a lot more flexible than being at a 12-hour job or, you know what I'm saying? So it gave way for me to be able to do both at the same time.
Okay.
And not feel like I can't pay my bills.
Okay. Well, good. You can't beat it, because honestly, if you had a different type of job, you probably wouldn't have the time to put in the work and the dedication. So at least you're able to juggle the both of them. Some people can't do that.
Very true.
You know what I mean? So you mentioned cooking for large groups. I cook for 2 people and I struggle. We have leftovers if anybody wants some leftovers, but, how do you go? Is it difficult cooking for large groups?
I mean, to be honest, it's all kind of new to me. I mean, I've cooked things, but in the past, it was always things like a pasta dish or something that is easy to feed a lot of people. And it doesn't take a lot, really to prepare it. But over the last year or so, I've had people reach out to me and they've asked for things like meatloaf and mashed potatoes and green beans for 60 people. You know what I'm saying? And that's not bad, but we're used to making a little meatloaf at home in the kitchen. You know what I'm saying? So yes, I do my research and calculate how much I need and all of that. And that stuff's not really hard. You just, multiplying your recipe. And I find, like, even as a server, the bigger the party, the better I do. Like, okay. I'm one of those type of people, when I have all that many people, I have to keep it organized, and I have a certain method that has to be done, and it gets done. Okay. So, therefore, but when I don't have that, I'm just kind of standing around, or not, it may not necessarily
really sure
be. Yeah. So, I kind of feel like with the bigger parties, it is harder, especially to make sure everything is hot and delivered, or, the set up the way that you want it to do for that many people. But at the same time, it's able to be done. It's able to be done. I'm able to prep and get it done.
So you did buttermilk.
Yes.
That was a big deal.
It was. It was our first time doing it.
Yes. Shout out to buttermilk.
Shout out to everybody who came and supported us. We greatly appreciated it.
Yes. So how did you manage to cook all that food in one kitchen? Did you have other people cooking for you, or did you? How do you cook that much food?
Yeah,
in such a short period of time.
I mean, I cook a lot in my kitchen, but like I said, I serve at BJ's, and they're really nice enough to let me use their kitchen when I have really big things that I just don't have enough space, enough burners, enough ovens, So they're really nice to help me out with that.
Well, that's good.
It makes it, a lot easier. But, that's in the works. We're trying to get a bigger space, and so that it makes it a lot more easier to accommodate everybody.
But to me, that's a big deal that you can serve that many people out of your own kitchen.
Yeah,
that's not a lot of people can do that. Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's a lot. And I seen you. She made several trips home. We made several trips back and forth carrying all this food, and I still, just looking at all of it, blew my mind that one person was able to make all that food. So shout out to Dorothea, because I'm telling y'all, she did the damn thing at Buttermilk. Like, she put her foot in the green beans and her thigh in the ribs, and I mean, the food was amazing, and we still have people that are stopping us and talking about how good the food was. So
yeah, I think the potato salad was the winner. I think everybody loved the potato salad. Like, I done had some requests for the potato salad.
Oh,
like,
good.
I think the potato salad was a winner, and that was my first time making that recipe. So I think I did her justice. The person we got the recipe from.
I wouldn't know. I don't eat potato salad, but maybe next time. I don't know. It's just not. It's not. I'm very picky, but Dorothea forces me.
That's why she don't cook. That's why she don't cook. Because she's picky. She's picky.
I'm very picky, and she does. She forces me. At the end of the night, I had let it slip out that I had never had ribs, and she pretty much forced it down my throat. But it was awesome, and I'd never had ribs. I don't eat meat on a bone. So I was just like, oh, just the idea of a rib of somebody, something, it scared me. But Dorothea got me to taste it, and I was very pleased. So what all did you serve at Buttermilk?
Well, Daddy came down and did his famous ribs that everybody loves. And we also smoked chicken, and you could get that with sauce or without. And you had your choice of 2 sides, but we had 3 to choose from: green beans, baked beans, and potato salad. And then I also baked a chess bar.
What is a chess bar?
It kind of is like chess pie, but more filling and less crust.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's really sweet. If you can't do sweet, it's very rich and it's very sweet, but people love them. They was coming back and buying them by the 4s and the 5s. So,
and this is a recipe that was handed down.
Yeah.
That is something we grew up eating, was chess bars. But then other people have never heard of them. So if you've never tried one, you got to try one of Dorothea's chess bars, because she made my mama proud. Like, she did my mama's recipe real good. Like, that's one thing I smashed the whole time we was at Buttermilk, was the chess bars. And people were blown away. We had people that came back and were like, what are these called? Like, they are good. And so she did the chess bars very well. Now, who all have you had the opportunity to cook for? What groups?
I've done, during the strike, was it in Heaven Hill that was on strike?
I think so.
When they were on strike, we fed the strikers. We had cooked one week when I was selling boxes, and we just didn't get as many orders as we had anticipated. But what I made was something that you just kind of make it the way it comes. So there was leftovers. So we just made up a bunch of plates and took it all up to the strikers, and we dropped off probably about 15 to 17 boxes. It might have been about 20 boxes that we dropped off to the strikers. And then, they put your name down in the book that you gave during the strike to the strikers, So I think they all talk, and so therefore Fuji Seal and some other businesses, their union stewards had a meeting out here at my old Kentucky home, and they reached out to me, and I catered for them.
Wow.
And it was really funny, because one of our cousins from Louisville works for the same union, and he was out here, but we missed each other because I was dropping off the food. But he was like messaging me like, "Yo, cuz, that was your food. Like, it was good." He's like, "They ain't here asking what you make." I said, "Everything, and I ain't even had none."
Well, that's good. What about, I heard you mention something about primary.
Oh, yes. The last week of school last year, a primary school for Samara, my daughter, since Miss Ryan was retiring, and I had planned on doing something. She's always asking me, "Mama, why don't you cook your food for the teachers at the school? I tell them how good it is. Why don't you? So, and me and her teacher, we go way back. Her teacher from last year, Miss Brandy, and she was like, "Mama, Miss Brandy wants some of your food," and I was like, "Okay, I'm gonna figure it out." And I ended up missing Teacher Appreciation Week. I had too much going on, so I got with them at the school. And since Miss Ryan was retiring, I thought it was fitting, because she was my 7th grade teacher, and I loved her. And then now she was the principal with Mara, and Mara loved her to death. So I thought it was just fitting to go ahead and cook for the host, for all the teachers and the staff of the primary school. So that's what we did, and it turned out great. It was a success. I think I was excited, and I didn't really know how. I know we talked about like how many we were preparing for, but I just think, I don't know. Maybe some people didn't get the memo. Maybe some people were out, because I had a few teachers tell me that they weren't there that day and they missed it. But I think they ate on it for a couple of days. Like, I think we did a spaghetti pie, and then we did an angel hair pasta salad for those that might be vegetarian.
Okay.
And then I did a dessert, a fruit parfait type thing that I do, just kind of light and refreshing, and garlic bread. And I think they ate on that pasta salad for a couple of days, because I came back to the school the next day and she was eating some for lunch. So.
Well, that's something.
So at least they had enough. I'm glad they had enough.
Yes. Yeah. So I know at my job, we have certain places that cater for us. Can you do big catering sessions at factories? Can you do weddings? Can you do family reunions?
I can. I just did a family reunion recently in July, and it turned out well. I did some vegetarian options as well as some meat options, and it turned out well. Everybody loved it. Everything, they said it was amazing. And then I did a wedding a year ago in July. It was a renewal of a wedding vow, and they had a menu, and I made it happen, and they loved it. It was the first time I've ever done anything like that. The transport, just everything, and my village had to step in and help me. All of y'all stepped in to help me. I got a guy that smokes a lot of my meat for me, or daddy smokes a lot too for me. So everybody just came together. We made it happen. It was a beautiful day for the bride and the groom. They enjoyed it. Their guests enjoyed it. Everybody loved it. So
good.
But yes, I'm able to do whatever. You just reach out to me. A lot of people reach out to me for family meals. I've even had a couple people stop me recently about meal prep. I had some truck drivers, some people that are on the road and they're not eating healthy and they just need some meals prep. That's even an option as well. A lot of people ask me for a menu, and when you go to my page, there's not a set menu. And the reason for that is because at the moment, I just offer catering services, meaning that you can hit me up and I can make a meal for you.
Right.
Or there's not anything specific.
Right.
I make a little bit of everything. I've had people reach out to me and ask me to make things that I've never made ever in my life. And I practice it, and I let them know whether or not I'm going to go with it.
She executes.
Right. Like, I mean, what people don't realize is a lot of times you make the food that you eat all the time. But there's all kinds of other foods out there. And if you don't ever eat that, you might not know how to make it. But It doesn't mean you can't learn, and it doesn't mean you can't make it good. So that's what I've been doing. I've been experimenting some with seafood, because I'm not much of a seafood eater, but I have a lot of family and friends who are. So I've been trying to venture out and try new things, but I'm always up for the challenge. And I mean, you know, I'm down for whatever. But that's why there's no menu, because there's really no select menu. It's basically what you would like me to do for you.
There you go. You can, you can customize your menu to your liking.
And you can stay tuned to my page, because I do cook meals and I take orders, and then you can put in your order and get some. I do that maybe once or twice a week if I can. But here recently, I haven't been able to do that, but that's getting ready to start back up. We're getting ready to start back doing the plate and box lunches.
And there's also, you know, when we got our business card here, just so you know, share it, all that good stuff. Look at all cute stuff. I'm Dorothea Food on the go. Her phone number for anybody who wants to contact her, 502-249-7871, or you can reach her on her Facebook page, Dorothea's Soul Food on the Go. But I had people at work, and I was explaining to them that a lot of them don't know how to cook or don't have time to cook for their family. They may not have this big group of people, but they have a family that needs to eat, and they don't know where to begin. How can you help people like that?
I mean, I'm always here if you ever have a suggestion. I mean, you call me all the time asking how to make stuff, and there's sometimes I have to call and ask somebody something that I might have forgot, or a different recipe. You know, just yesterday I reached out to our sister because I wanted to make my roast the way she makes hers, because I make mine a little different. So it's just, you you can just reach out to me. If you ever have any questions, there's quite a few people out there really that know a lot more than me. I only know what I know, and I'm sure I can learn so much more. You know what I'm saying? But I mean, Miss Lisa Shekels, she's been doing the sweets and the treats, and she does the little actual take you through the video. I was watching some of her videos on frying things and cooking things, and I mean, she's been in the game longer than me.
Her Jessica cookies. Yeah. Shout out to Lisa's Creations. Yes. Her Jessica cookies. Yes. For those of you who don't know what that is a chocolate chip cookie with no chocolate chips. And that is my favorite cookie in the whole wide world. She makes them. Hit her up. But yes, so can you cook for, say I'm rushing. I don't have time. I know I'm going to be busy Friday. I know I have an idea of what my family would like. Can you make a small meal for me and my family?
I can. You just reach out to me and you let me know. Yes, I work at BJ's. Yes, I am a mother and I stay busy. But if you call me and I know I make time for that, this is a part of my business as well. So at the end of the day, it can be done. And then also stay tuned to my page, because on days that I'm telling you that I'm cooking it and I'm taking orders, even if you necessarily didn't want what I was cooking that day and you didn't get your order in, if you know I'm cooking, you can holler at me and be like, hey,
I want a plate.
And, and there's days that I don't necessarily sell boxes or plates to people, but I just cook for my family. Mm-hmm. And there's always extras left over. Like on Sundays, a lot of times we have a lot of extras. So if you see me post on my page, on Dorothea Soul Food on the Go or Dorothea Trainer's page, and you like, dang, that looks good, I wish I had something, hit me up. Because if I have extras, I'll send you a box. I just don't always advertise because I don't want everybody to feel like, oh, well, I called and I couldn't get none. You know what I'm saying? Like, they're just my leftovers. You know what I'm saying? But to somebody that's straight. You know what I'm saying? So just hit me up. And I have people hit me up for family meals all the time. Shout out to Deja and Vinny now. They always hit me up for family meals. Marcus Hodgins, all kinds of people. I just appreciate all the love. I've had a lot of people reach out to me, and just keep it coming. And I just really appreciate it.
Yes. It's gotten to the point now where even my son's like, what's Dorothea cooking today? Or Toya will call me like, Dorothea, what'd you cook today? Because she's always cooking. Even if she doesn't have a group of people she's cooking for. And she's like my mother. My mother cooked for large groups. Even if it wasn't a large, she makes large portions. So Dorothea always has some extra always. So if you hungry, if you really hungry, hit her up, because I promise you she will feed you. She will not let you starve. She will not let you starve. So tell us about your signature dishes. What would you say a couple of your signature dishes are?
Everybody loves the spaghetti pie.
Spaghetti pie.
It's like a lasagna, but with spaghetti and cottage cheese instead of ricotta. Sounds weird, but together the combination is fire.
That's something we grew up eating. So to us, spaghetti pie is like second nature. But to someone who's never tried it before, it's worth trying. It's not lasagna, but it's similar. It's something she is really good at making. Very, very good at making. What else?
Here lately, ever since Thanksgiving. At Thanksgiving, this past year was the first Thanksgiving I didn't cook. I decided to go to a family member's house. And Aunt Gladys's, she had fried cabbage and collard greens mixed together. Oh, I'm going to tell y'all what. Okay? It's my new favorite thing. Like, I could just eat that by itself. I don't need no meat, no potatoes, no nothing. I can just eat it by itself.
I love
but
cabbage.
It's my new thing. So I done started making it, and so I think that's because you don't hear that very often. You either hear collard greens or fried cabbage. You don't hear them together.
No.
And I can't really explain it. You just gotta taste it because it's really powerful. So I think that's my new thing that I'm on right now. But spaghetti pie, everybody loves. A lot of people tell me they love my pork chops and my fried chicken.
I thought you was going to say the pulled pork.
Well, yeah, that's a big hit too. But
we put this on oranges. She be putting like these oranges. and the sauce, and I'm telling you, oranges. Gives it like a tangy. Oh yes, 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 very much so. So I don't know. We're very proud of her. Where would you say, if you could just wave a wand, right? Where would you like to see Soul Food on the Go in the next year?
I mean, in the next year, I'd like to have a food truck or possibly a storefront.
Okay.
The end goal or the end dream, anyway, before when I first started this thing, I've always wanted to have my own restaurant.
Yes.
That's just something I've always wanted and always dreamed of having. I'd like to have a restaurant, but I also like to have an area where we can have something activity wise, whether it be a band or spoken word or, a local upcoming artist, something like that. But it's always been kind of my dream. And so this is the first few steps, with COVID and everything, and kind of put a stop on a lot, and it kind of make you scared to take big leaps because you don't know what's really going to happen as far as the world goes. You know what I'm saying? So we just been trying to take small steps and try to make the dream come true. You know what I'm saying? So
I don't know. To me, it sounds like a good restaurant, Dorotheas. Where y'all going tonight? We going to Dorotheas. It sounds like a good restaurant. It does.
I don't know. We got a few names. We've been dancing around with. We've been dancing around with.
I'm so excited you came out to talk to us today, Dorothea. So, let's see. How can we reach out to you again?
You can hit me up on Dorothea Soul Food on the Go. You can hit me on my personal page, Dorothea Trainer, or you can hit me at 502-249-7871. And I mean, don't hesitate. I mean, like I said, I do work at BJ's during the day. So don't hesitate. If you see me out and you come out to eat, don't hesitate to say something to me. I might even have a card on me. So
yes, you never know. You never know. Trust me. I've got plenty of them in my car. I gave one to this guy I work with, one of my bosses. And I was like, my sister got her own catering company and she does family meals. And he said, I've never had soul food. And it just blew my mind. But there are people out there that wouldn't even know what soul food is. So if you have never had soul food or you're just hungry, hit Dorothea up. I promise you, she will feed you. She will feed you and you will not be disappointed. I promise you. All right. So before I go, you already know you are smart. You are wise. You are worthy. Believe it, boo, because it's true. I'll see you next week. Hey, hey, hey. It's me, Sharii, and welcome to my podcast.